Hey guys, it's ComedicEinstein here, with another creepypasta for you guys. And I like to call this one, The Car Crash. Late one night, a married couple were driving home from a party. They lived in a small village outside the city, and their journey took them down a winding mountain road that passed through a dense forest. It was raining heavily, and the husband was driving slowly to negotiate the sharp turns in the road. As they came around the bend, they were shocked to see a car that was stuck in the ditch by the side of the road. It looked as if it had skidded off the road and crashed into a big tree. They drove past the crashed car and pulled over on the side of the road to see if they could help. The husband got out and dashed back to the scene of the accident. The front end of the car was crushed and the windscreen was cracked. Brushing the rain off the side window, he could see that there were people inside. There were two passengers in the front seat, a man and a woman. They were covered in blood, and their heads were hanging limp on their shoulders. Looking closer, he was horrified when he realized that both of them had almost been decapitated. Their heads were hanging on by a few threads. There was nothing he could do for them. They were obviously dead. Staring through the back window, he spotted a young girl curled up on the back seat. Although she was slumped over on an awkward angle, she did not seem to be badly injured. Her seatbelt had probably protected her from the full force of the crash. Taking hold of the handle, he used all his might to wrench open the back door. The girl appeared to be around 7 or 8 years old. Her face was deathly pale, and there was some blood on her face. He reached in and felt for her pulse. Suddenly, the little girl's eyes flickered open. She was still alive. The man breathed a sigh of relief. "Are you all right?" asked the man gently. The girl didn't reply. She seemed to be dazed from the impact. Thinking quickly, the man scooped her up in his arms and ran back to his car, clutching her tightly. "The parents are dead," he told his wife. "This girl looks okay, but I can't be sure. We've got to get her to the hospital as fast as possible," said his wife. "She could have internal injuries." They placed the girl on the back seat of their car and wrapped her in a blanket to keep her warm. Then the couple drove off as quickly as possible in search of the nearest hospital. The atmosphere in the car was intense. They were driving at full speed down the winding mountain road. The husband kept his eyes glued to the road. He had to concentrate on the bends and curves. It was still raining hard, and the road was slippery. He wanted to make sure they didn't have an accident. The wife examined the map of the area. She was trying to figure out the fastest route to the hospital. "The couple in the car were horribly injured," said the husband. "Their heads were hanging off." His wife didn't reply. "It was the worst accident I've ever seen," he said. She still didn't reply. He turned to look at his wife. Her eyes were bulging out, staring into space. Her mouth was wide open in a silent scream. Her throat was slit from ear to ear. Blood was pouring down the front of her dress. Suddenly, he glanced in the rearview mirror and saw the little girl licking a bloody knife. Well guys, that was a crazy creepypasta. I mean, can you imagine that? Helping a random stranger in the middle of the road who had just suffered a car accident? It makes you think twice whether to stop and help anyone, doesn't it? Well guys, hope you enjoyed that creepypasta, and as always, just remember, sleep with one eye open. Laters.